Hello everyone, today in Sangi's Cookery we are going to see how to prepare the Aloo Mutter Sabzi. Aloo Mutter is a Punjabi dish from the Indian subcontinent which is prepared by using potatoes and peas in a creamy tomato based sauce. This goes very well with Pooris, parathas, rotis or even with plain rice or jeera rice. This is a very tasty dish and it can be quickly prepared if you have the potatoes handy at home. So before we go into the procedure as to how to prepare this Aloo Mutter Sabzi, if you are watching my video for the first time, I would request you all to subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon for further interesting recipes and notifications. I have cut 2 to 3 potatoes and I put in water. I cut the potatoes into big pieces like this. A handful of fresh peas, 2 onions finely chopped, 2 to 3 green chillies, a small piece of ginger and 6 to 7 flakes of garlic, 2 tomatoes roughly chopped, some coriander leaves required for garnishing and for seasoning, 2 teaspoons of jeera, 1 teaspoon of sounf and 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds or the methi seeds, hing or the Asafoetida, 1 tablespoon of besan and 2 tablespoons of curd. Ghee required for seasoning. I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of red chilli powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala powder, half a teaspoon of amchur powder, 1 teaspoon of jeera powder and 2 teaspoons of the dania powder. So finally garnishing with the kasoori methi. You have to roast this and add about 1 tablespoon. So in pressure pan I'll be adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of ghee. I would like to personally do this dish with ghee, but if you want to add oil, you can add oil or you can add a mix of ghee and oil also. Once the ghee gets heated up, I'll be adding the jeera, sounf and the methi dana. Once the jeera gets fried, I'm also adding the hing or the Asafoetida. Adding hing is optional, but I would prefer to add it because potatoes usually, for some people, it will lead to gas disorders. So that is the reason. Now we'll be adding the finely chopped onions. Fry the onions into a nice golden brown color. So while we are frying the onions, let's grind the following ingredients: green chillies, ginger, garlic and tomato. We'll grind this into a smooth paste. Now you can see that the onions have turned into a nice brown in color. At this stage I'll be adding the potatoes. So in the curd, I'm just going to add some besan and I'll add all the masalas to it. Starting with the jeera powder, amchur powder, dania powder, turmeric powder and the red chilli. Except for the garam masala, we'll be transferring everything. Mix it up nicely. Now we'll add the masalas which is mixed in the curd and the besan, and let's fry this. Now you can see that the potato mixture is getting cooked in the masalas. Now we'll add the tomato puree. This is the ground tomato puree of the ginger, garlic, green chilli and the tomatoes. Just also adding some water in the mixie jar and I'm going to adjust the gravy. So I'm just going to cover this with the lid, but I'm not going to put the whistle. We're just going to cook it for a few minutes, but just make sure that it doesn't get burnt, so you need to keep stirring it occasionally. So after 5 minutes, if you open the lid and see, you can see that it's been cooking nicely. You can also see that the oil has started to come out from the sides of the pan. So now at this stage I'll be adding the peas. Since this is a frozen peas, I'm just adding at the end, but otherwise you can add it at the beginning itself. I'm also going to add some water, approximately around 1 cup. Mix it up nicely. Now it may feel like, it will be a little watery, but once it gets cooked and after it cools, it will come to the right consistency. So I'm just going to close the lid of the pressure pan and I'm going to leave it on a medium flame for about 2 to 3 whistles. So after 2 to 3 whistles, I'm just opening the cooker. Get a very nice flavor of the Aloo Mutter Sabzi. Finally, I'm going to add a teaspoon of garam masala powder. Mix it up nicely. So finally, I'm also adding the roasted fenugreek leaves powder. So I slightly roasted in the pan, or you can roast it in the microwave as well. And then add this. This will add to the flavor of the Aloo Mutter Sabzi. last but not the least, a final garnish with some coriander leaves. Before pressure cooking it, it was little bit watery. Now you can see how the gravy has become thick. So the very tasty and yummy Aloo Mutter Sabzi is ready. This goes very well with rotis, fulkas or puris or even with parathas. I hope you'll all try out this recipe, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and relatives. Have a great day.